Hey guys, Silver here, and today I'm going to be opening and reviewing the Zygarde Special Pack from Tomy, and this pack includes 4 different figures. Zygarde Core is a regular Monster Collection figure, Zygarde 10% is a supersized collection figure, while 50 and the completed form are both hypersized figures. And you can see a lot of the anime artwork here on the side. We have Bonnie with Zygarde Core. On the side, we have the dog form or the 10% form. A really awesome artwork of the completed form, and that's repeated on the top here, and you can see Ash. And on the back, we have some more unique artwork of all of the forms, along with an ad for the anime series in which Zygarde will be appearing in. And there's some details about each of the figures, each of the forms, including their typing, their size, stuff like that. And on the back, we just have warnings, copyright, stuff like that. So let's go ahead and open this pack. I'm quite excited for this. Alright, and we got all of them out, and of course we have our Tomy leaflet, same old little leaflet here with a QR code on it for their website. And let's see, I guess we should start in order here, so we will start with Zygarde Core, and he comes with a little base. And one thing I really like about this little figure here is you can see that he is made of a transparent green plastic. I really love when they do transparent figures, and this guy is totally appropriate for that. You can see his little core in here. And copyright is on the back of his head. Not very much to show here. This is a quite basic little figure. There are actually multiple versions though of this little core figure if you are a big fan of this guy. There is one with this angry face, the same one here, and then there is one with a happy face, happy expression on that you can also buy separately if you would like. And this little guy is great looking. Not the cleanest around his little center here. You can see there's very obvious lines there where they had the plastic come together. But for such a inexpensive little guy, he still looks pretty fantastic. And let's see, how does he sit in the base? Looks like you just set him in like that. Alright, and now let's do a 360 of Zygarde Core. And he does like to wobble a little bit. You have to really push him in his base. But there is Zygarde Core, great little figure. Moving on, we have Zygarde 10%. I know this is lots of people's favorite Zygarde form because it is a dog. And I believe, like the 50% in completed form, that this is actually based on one of Loki's children, Fenrir. So that's really cool. I love when they get deep in mythology with all of the legendaries. Especially Norse mythology, which is just awesome. So, like Zygarde Core, he also has some bits of transparent plastic. His little scarf band here, and of course his neck. That looks great. And then his muzzle, his snout, that is also made of a nice looking transparent plastic. It's a little darker shade than the core is. You can see that. This is more of a lime green, while this is more of a darker forest green. And the front of him here, it is a little hard to see. This is a quite dark figure. You can see the spots on the front of his chest. His little transparent foot. He even has a spot on his butt in the back. And unfortunately, the copyright information is bright as day on the side of his leg here with a China and a white font. I really hate when they do that, especially with black figures. You just see it from a mile away. Thankfully though, since this is a supersized figure, his head does swivel. So you can move it all the way around if you would like to, if you want to do exorcism with this 10% figure. And I really like the way he looks facing forward. This is a really well-designed Pokemon. I really love how it looks. So you can have him facing this way. I actually just like him regularly facing towards the front. I think that's a pretty good look for this figure. So let's do a 360 with him. Alright, and you can actually buy this guy separately if you would like. He is available outside of the pack. It is a regular supersized figure. I will leave a link in the description below if you are interested in purchasing just the 10% figure. And I would highly recommend it. I actually like this figure way more than I thought I would. I really love its eyes. They used a great plastic with this. The dark forest green plastic just makes this figure 10 times better. Now let's move on to Zygarde 50%. And unfortunately, this is the very same Zygarde hypersized figure that they released many months ago. So if you already have the Zygarde hypersized figure, then unfortunately this will in fact be a duplicate. But it is still quite a nice figure. I wouldn't mind having multiples of this figure, although it is a little sad they couldn't do anything a little special to it. It'd be really cool if it had parts of transparent plastic like the other two we've looked at already did. But anyway, this guy is a hypersized figure and you can swivel his head around. Other than that, there is no other mobility with this guy. So let's zoom in. And I love the honeycomb look that Zygarde 50% has. And this guy's, I believe, is based off of Loki's child, who is a serpent. I love his little crown thing, his back plates and right here. Really makes the figure look cool. Kind of reminds me of almost like the Game of Thrones chair, the way they just protrude like this. Make it look like Zygarde's sitting in a throne. And from the back, and the copyright information is right here. Very good place for it. Unfortunately, not like the dog figure. There is a bit of a scuff right here. I should be able to get that off with a little bit of acetone. And since it's on the bottom where it would be touching the ground, that's not a huge deal. I really like the nice matte green color they took with Zygarde 50%. I'm just going to have Zygarde facing the front like that. And we'll set him down. I really love Zygarde from the side. Just like I said, this little crown back piece is so cool. So I really love Zygarde in his serpent form, and this is quite a nice figure. If you do not have it already, this would be a great addition to any Zygarde enthusiast collection. And finally, we have my personal favorite, the completed form. This guy is just awesome looking. It is such a behemoth, and I just pulled his head off. Let's put that back in there. He kind of reminds me of a chess piece almost, like a bishop. Just a really large behemoth Pokemon. I love when they have Pokemon that are like 20 feet tall, like Koopa Unbound is. So let's zoom in on this guy. You can see his face here. And you can position his head to move a little bit, although like I did, you could easily pull his head right off. But his head is kind of tucked away in there. I love his front little mouthpiece here, the part of his chest that looks like it's a giant mouth. They do that a lot in Digimon, where the chest piece is actually a mouth, so I kind of appreciate that. I think it's a cool detail to have. And the top here has a little jewel on his head. All of the colors in his mouth look great. There is no paint errors or anything like that. And I believe the completed form is based off of Hel, who is again one of Loki's children, and she is half life and half death, which is just, that's so awesome. So he's half life Xerneas and half death Yveltal. Turning the figure around here, there's the copyright. Again, good place for it. On the back where you're not going to see it, you can see part of his little tail that reminds me of the 50% form. They just did such a great job with this design. You can see parts of all of the past forms in this completed form. And his little things right here that have the colors of Yveltal and Xerneas look great. And his feet have really nice sculpting. His knees right here, really nice sculpting. His arms, which do move. So you can, in fact, move his arms. And his legs, if you would like. But I find when they have moving legs to be kind of pointless. You kind of need them to stand where they are or the figure will topple over. But this guy just looks incredible. I really love this figure and this Pokemon. You can see the green on his neck there. Put his head back in. Alright. See, I moved his legs and he already wants to topple over. So you really have to keep his legs where they were, or else he will fall right over. And so I think by far this is my favorite figure. This guy is just too cool. I really love the concept behind it being both life and death. The colors look fantastic. Great sculpting. This is definitely a great figure to have if you are a fan of Zygarde. Unfortunately, the only way you can get this guy is in the pack right now. I do think they will release it separately, probably in the next several months or so. They usually do. They don't keep these guys in packs for very long. They did the same thing with Shiny Mega Metagross. So I do think this guy will eventually get a separate release. But if you cannot wait, I think the Zygarde pack is definitely worth it. Let's put all of them together. These guys are fantastic figures, and of course I bought mine from HobbyLink Japan. I will leave a link in the description if you are interested in purchasing this yourself. And this pack was 3,040 yen, so it is about $25. I would definitely say it's worth it. You get 2 hypersized figures, a supersized figure, and then a regular Monster Collection figure. And all of them are quite nice. My really only complaint is the copyright on the Zygarde dog. I don't like that it's on the leg. But that's the only complaint I have. The rest of these figures are just very, very gorgeous figures. And if you are a fan of Zygarde, you will definitely love this pack. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review and unboxing. Be sure to give me a like if you did. It does help a lot. I have plenty more Tomy reviews that are coming out soon, including Ho-Oh, Charizard X and Y in their new poses, and the next one will be Ashgren Ninja. So I hope you all subscribe and look forward to that. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.